I'd like to welcome our panel, our esteemed panel, uh, head coach of Orlando Pirates Football Club, Josef Zinnbauer, as well as Captain Thulani Hlatshwayo. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just, Coach, if you can just tell us how things are gearing up at camp, knowing that you get to have such an important match in the Carling Cup derby on the 1st of August.
Good afternoon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, nice to see you. First, we are in a camp. The camp is in a moment hard work for the players. We in a good mood. Work very hard. Players follow us, and we are happy we can play on Sunday. It's a top game for us. We get more information about the stand, how is the team in the moment, how it's the conditioning, how it's the tacticals, and important the results after this game. We want to fight for a good result.
And Tyson, perhaps if you can just tell us from a player's perspective, again, a big match, the Carling Cup Soweto derby against the Kaizer Chiefs, your arch rivals. How is the planning at camp? I'm sure you still remember how it was. It wasn't too long ago getting to play in your first derby. So how are the preparations going for you guys, and how is that like for the new guys who haven't had an opportunity to play?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The preseason camp has been good. When you remember, last season we didn't really have a proper preseason, and with the new players, myself also having a full preseason with the team, knowing as a player that it's very important to have a proper preseason, because it prepares you to the game, to the season, and we're looking forward to the first derby. There's new players that are going to play their first derby also. So obviously, the mood has been positive around the team, and we're looking forward to play the derby and make sure that we get a good positive result.
Okay, we'll now open for questions from the floor, starting with Mark Stradom. Can we get the microphone to Mark, please? And may I ask that in between, if anyone has a question, please raise your hand so that we don't have unnecessary breaks in between. Thank you.
Is it on? Okay. Thanks, Tony. Coach, just like Tyson says, your first pre-season with the club, and I know it's been difficult never having that pre-season. What difference does that make for you now that you've had this structured preparation to the season finally at Pirates? And maybe if you can just also comment quickly on the signings and how you feel they can add to what you so far. Thanks.
Yeah, it's as a coach, you have more weeks now like before. It's important for a coach you can improve a team more than before. Important is as well you have players on the pitch. In this times we have not so many injured like last season. We have last season not a long of days for a preseason, and this days is now much better. Okay, we have now 4 or 5 players. They are out. They are not in the trainings session like Mabasa, Lepasa. Just happy now, and Chukamancha, Pule. They are not in the last 10 days, 14 days. Not often on the field. It is a little bit disturbed, but it's much better like in the last season, and you know it. You have now close to 5 or 5.5 weeks preseason. Last season was close to 2.5 weeks. It's a big difference. We can work on tacticals. We can work on conditionings. We can work on private talks. Like now we have team building sessions alone with the players, without coaches, with coaches, and that's little things what you can improve. There's the next question. What you have? How it's the new signing how we can the new signing implement in the team quick, and it's also things with team buildings. What you can do, or then in the field you can give him more information. What we want. It's a big difference, but it's not all. We have to work together. There's the big things with the ball, without the ball. But in the moment, we are very happy. The team is really good work. It's a hard work. It's different style. It's a little bit different style what we did in this season, in this preseason. And I'm happy about the players. They work really, really hard. And in the moment, it's a good work.
Thanks. Coach, it's Seppo from ENCA. This is going to be, I think, your third season. When you got into the team, you got into in the middle of the season, and as you said, last season, you sort of did not have a good preseason, and you won a trophy. So going into the new season, Coach, the expectations, do you think that the team is in the right shape now to challenge properly for the league title? Thanks.
It's always a big question how it's the level now in this season, but you need players they are available. We have now more time. I saw it before, but it's always the players is available. But we have a good squad. And last season, yes, we are happy. I think the last 6 years we have not the success about the title. We have a title, and now this is normally you get a title, then they want more. We saw it last season. You won a title, all say, what? Wow, it's top. We get the title. But the next title is now. The next is, maybe the cup for Netbank or please win the league. Yeah, I know. We want win all titles. Yeah? As a coach, as a player, you want win titles. That's clear. It's special especially for clubs like Pirates or Chiefs or Sundowns. This is the target what we have. But in the most of time, when we saw now the last years, it's not so easy. All teams fight about titles. And look, like last season was Amazulu in the second place. Nobody in the room before a season speak about Amazulu. But it's possible in football. All is possible. But now we have a chance, a next chance, and we're looking forward. And we have now from the last season, we have players. There was not one game in the international games like CAF, and now we have players with a little bit more experience like before. We have now players. They have more adapt the system what we want. We have ex-players. They make good experience, bad experience in our team last season. I'm as a coach the same. I adapt now more the culture. I adapt now more this feeling how it's working better. And this is the reason what we have to now in 6 weeks or 5 weeks in a preseason. We going forward with this, and we get targets. And if I hope we have the players on board, not like last season we played a whole season with. I know that the supporters want 2 strikers on the field, but which strikers you have then if 3 strikers out? Then you have maybe another one. Gaba was in the last season not in the preseason available. In the first games he have then the insurance. He was not available then 2 weeks or 3 weeks. He was always struggling on, not on. And Lavasa on, then out, then Merbasa on, then out. This disrupt a little bit as well the team spirit, is always a little bit changing the systems. And I hope we get now the right direction. We build a little bit other system in generally what we want. And I think let's go. Let's looking forward. We have a chance. We win a title. We have to win the title, but it's not so easy. But we work on it, and I'm 100% sure you get the players on the field, and they're not so long time. We have not so bad times for long insurance. Then I think we are all in, and we can win titles.
Hi, Coach. Delmania from Sakala Duma. Coach, I just want to ask you, you have 2 new members added to your technical team, in Manla Nikaze as your assistant coach, and then there's also Shurt Vodenberg. He's coming as the goalkeeper coach. I just want to ask, Coach, what is it that they bring to your technical team? Obviously, you've had them with you in Rustenburg now here with the camp. What is it that they bring to your technical team, and then what is it that we can expect from you guys going into the new season?
We are happy about the staff members, what we get. With Coach Mandla, we get a coach what have experience as a second coach, experience as a head coach. He know both sides. What we expect is always like a goalkeeper coach in the last season. We have a long time not a goalkeeper coach. We lost last season as well analyzer and the individual coach during the season, and now we have another. My first question was in the club, please give me another assistant coach in my first time in the first months, and now we have it. We have the assistant coach and a new assistant coach, and we have more staff members. We have more eyes on the field. We can manage easier the trainings. We can manage easier the games as well. We can manage easier the players what stay at home. Maybe we traveled into to Africa. Then we have quality staffs behind us or behind me, behind my person, and it's very important in the football.
Sorry about that. Coach, you've hinted in your previous question. Can we say now that you're in your groove, you're in your element, you're understanding your team better, and the team is understanding you also? And to Tyson, country's been going through a very difficult time in the last 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, you've seen it in the news. Just from as a football player, to see what's been happening in the country and to know that you still have a job on focusing on your career and football, and knowing that soon the league will be back. This weekend it's obviously the Colin Black Label, that it is your performances and the sports stars like you, and we've seen at the Olympics, that tend to shy us away from the problems that we're seeing. How difficult has it been as a professional footballer to see all this happening?
Maybe it's a misunderstanding. I said the team don't understand me. That's not so right, but it's normal. In your job, you start maybe with a new company, and you work before maybe 5 years in the old company. You come in a new. It's maybe another rules. It's another rhythm what you have maybe, and it's the things what the players have to understand. You switch always a little bit in the old systems or in the old experience, and we want a new experience and more time. You get more time for this to adapt, and you get more experience on the pitch. Then it's normally you adapt this more and more, and this is things what I want to say. But other side is the culture is different, like in Europe. It's a little bit different, yeah, and we have different cultures in our team, and they have to understand as well. This is a little bit what we get more and more. You get more time, or you get more experience, then you get more adapt for these things.
Yeah, for sure. It's been difficult for the country as a whole, and from where we're at, we're in the hotels and trainings. Sometimes we'll train via the Zoom meeting, but it's difficult for the country what they're going through. And yes, I may have a job to play, as much as we do miss the supporters on the field of play. Just like now, being my second season, my first season I never had an opportunity to play. We used to joke about it with Sis Tandi that the real Soweto derby, being able to have fans around whom we miss really very, very much, and with everything that is happening in the country, it's obviously it's difficult for everyone, and everyone is being retrenched. Everyone is at home, and the rate of poverty is going higher. I think we need to stick together as a country and make sure that we fight this virus so that we can go back to our normality and go back to our lives and be able to provide for our families.
We'll take the final 2 questions, starting with the lady up front. Do we have a hand for the final question? Okay, lady at the back. So Women's Month next month, man. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Balis Giti from Vision View Sports Radio. Coach, you just mentioned CAF briefly, and you know what happened with Pirates, obviously, at the CAF against Raja. How much of that is still fresh in your mind going into this new season? And obviously, having tasted continental football with this club, how much of that has not created hunger as a coach to want to compete at that level? and also dictated the kinds of players you sign, because there's a lot of great players, but you need certain types of players that will help you compete at the continental level. So how much of that dictated also the kinds of players you bring in to the team? Thank you.
Yeah, the experience is important for me. Last season, Raja is not so important for me for the results. This was a difficult result and never can get so results normally as a Pirates, Orlando Pirates. But we get experience about so games, about so travelings, what's happened behind the doors, and for me as well. And then I'm hungrier than before. Now I get more information. The players get more information. We comes closer. Yeah, it's not always. It sounds bad if you say you have a bad game or you lose a game, but sometimes it brings us closer. Yeah, it's built a unit, and I hope we have now the new signings. They bring us a step ahead. But they need also time now. It's always different. It comes to a big club like Orlando Pirates. It's not so easy, and we have players maybe like Tyson is a big player, international player, but it's always a little bit different from club to club, especially in big clubs like Orlando. And this is also, we have to give the guys a little bit time to adapt this stadiums, these training environments, these supporters what we have now, and the supporters they won't give us motivation, and some players they say, what is here? Wow, it's unbelievable how many supporters we are on the street, or maybe then later I hope they come back in the stadium. That's not so easy for some players, not all players. Some player give us motivation. Some players give us a little bit negatives first, and then they have to adapt this, and then they go ahead. But in general, we have now more informations about CAFs, about the teams. The players adapt a little bit more what we want, and now we go forward. And we are able. In football, you can win all games. Yeah, not all games in a season. We know it. It's not possible. But we have to learn out of the past season, and we're looking forward, and I have a good feeling in the moment.
Final question.
Okay. Hi, it's Leslie from Frontrunner. My question is for Tyson. I'm seeing as this is your second season with Orlando Pirates, what are your personal goals to achieve with the team?
Obviously, for me, the personal goal is to do well this season, and obviously as a player, you can be critical towards yourself, and you can look yourself in the mirror, and you know your ability, you know what you can offer. And for me, is to make sure, because I normally record all my games whenever I'm playing, and it's for me to recap and look at them, look at all the games that I've played, even in national team or my previous teams, and make sure that I improve. And for me, that's what it's about it this season, to make sure that I do better in all aspects of football.
I think we've reached the conclusion of our press conference. Before we finish things off, just one final word from our coach.
I wonder me a little bit why the starting lineup for the Calling Cup is not coming. Congratulations to the fans. The supporters make a good team for us. They chose a really, really, really good team, and I'm happy about this. Maybe in this time it's not 7 defenders on the field. We have now more offense. We can give us, our champion coach, a little bit more structure. I think he have a easier management now. I have to say it's so important. So games like for a coach, you get a little bit of information, and you get also, we can also give a little bit information to the supporters. Then one supporters is directly a head coach in this game, and it's top. Yeah, we can support the supporters in our team, and also he can transfer the information from an internal voice, what is for experience he have in this time, and it's a fantastic idea. It's not so easy to handling for a head coach. I'm honest, and you sit on the bench and you have nothing to say. The head coach says sit down, and he goes on the line. But thank you, Colin. Thank you, the guys what have the idea, and I hope we we go forward and we want a good result. We want to win the game, and this is also, I think, Kaizer Chiefs have the same idea. But we fight for the first result. Thank you for this.